Okay. If you look, this is our archives for the data sets. So the task is to find a classification problem or classification data set in this particular archives or repositories. So let's say that I'm choosing the adult data set. So once I click on this, I have this particular problem which says that I have to predict whether income exceeds $50,000 per year based on sensor data. So that is what the data set is doing. And as you can see, the data set also have missing values, which is yes, and the problem is classifications. We have combinations of attributes, which is categorical and integers. You understand? So we have also 14 attributes. We have 14 attributes, and we have 48,842 instances. Do you understand that? So I'm going to download this data set.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, good evening to you. I'm going to download this data set, which is adult.data.
Yeah, I'm sorry for coming late. I'm just coming home now.
You are welcome. So I saw your assignments on our share folder. What I noticed is that you guys might not understand clearly what you should do, or what are some, like I want you to handle this particular problem in such a way that you fully understand, use all the techniques and topics we've gone through in this class to analyze your data set. So that is what I'm trying to do now. I want to make an example of what I expect of you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now we have the adult data set in this folder. So I'm going to import the data set with pandas, import pandas as PD. So pd.read_csv adults.data. So I have this data set. So looking at this data set, there are attributes which are sensor data. This is the descriptions of the data set here. You have 14 attributes, which include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I think the target attribute is excluded, which is this. So given these observations, each attribute, for example, looking at these particular observations, we have 50, self-employed, these particular values, bachelors, 13, married. There are attributes that tells us a particular sensor observations. And this is the target class, less than or equal to $50,000. So what you should first define in your number one, the first question you should ask yourself that what you are trying to classify, is it binary classifications or multi-class classifications? So for example, in this problem, we want to classify that if a particular observations or a particular adult earn more than 50,000 or less than $50,000 per year. Do you understand that? Is that binary or multi-class classifications? So that is the first question you should ask yourself. Is it binary or multi-class classifications?
Binary.
It's binary.
Okay, it's binary because we only have some values to classify.
It's only two values, Abi.
Yes, which is less than 50,000 and greater than 50,000.
50,000.
So then we can then say that data This is our data set. You understand that? Then we can look at it that our data set have missing values. Sorry. So our data set have missing values. Then we might need to remove the missing values. So let's equate this onto data equal to this. So we have 32,560 observations in the data set. Do you understand that? Then we can try to remove the missing values, drop none. We remove the missing values. Okay, I think we still have 32,500. Okay, we have these are missing values, numbers of instance. Okay, let's just leave that for now. Let's leave that for now. Let's concentrate on the most important thing. So we have how many observations here? 14 observations. The first observation is age. You can see that the first observation is age, which is this. So we can also see the attributes of each observation. This one says that it's a continuous values. So age is a continuous value. So you can see that age equals to data dot ilog. So I need everything, all the rows and the first column. So this is what it means. So age is this. So I have this age. You understand that this is age. So what I expected of is that for each attribute, you can try to make visualization for each attribute to explain your data very well. Then in each line, you must explain your lines. For example, in this particular line, I can see that age the data set. So I can now understand better that you are making a good analysis. But for example, in Olayemi's code, I can just see only code. I cannot see any explanations or anything explaining the code. Do you understand that? So you must present your data in such a way that even someone that does not understand Python will know what you are doing. Do you understand that?
Okay. Okay.
So we have this reading data set. Here we extract ilog age by extracting the first column. If you understand this ilog, this everything, all the rows and the first column. Do you understand that? Or if you can't extract it like this, this is the best way to extract it. This is the best way to extract it. Do you understand that? Age equal to data.ilog 0. Then you can then make plots. If you want to make plots of age, you understand, you can make plots of age. You can also do that for the rest of the class. We have age. We have 14 attributes. The first thing I expect you to do is to extract each of the attributes. So the next attribute is work class. So this will be everything, all the rows, comma 1. So we have this, which is also continuous values. This comma 2. Education also, which is comma 3. This third column. We have marital status. Which is 4. We have occupation. Occupation, which is 5. So we have also this protective serve, which is 6. We have relationship, which is 7. The 7th column. Base. Do you understand what I'm doing? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. We have also 6. I'm going to tell you the reason.
Please, what are you trying to achieve now in?
Okay, I'm going to tell you what I'm trying to achieve. I'm going to tell you what I'm trying to achieve. For example, if you want this, you are going to get each attribute. For example, this age, you are going to get the series of each attribute. You understand? This is normal a data frame is a series. What class? Something like this. So you can then process each attribute separately. For example, if I want to process them, you want to just process them. For example, you want to replace this particular self underscore, this particular attribute, this particular value of private, you want to replace it with 0. Do you understand? And this also have private, this particular attribute also have private. And you want to replace everything at once, like data dot replace, like data dot replace. Private, comma, 0, something like this. So it's going to replace everyone, all the private here, even for some other attributes. Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? But you can replace, you can replace just a particular attribute. For example, I can just say what class dot replace. I can just look at the particular attribute and process it instead of using the whole data set and process the data set, because value for a particular attribute can also appear in some other attributes. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is why it is better you first itemize your attributes and extract the values just like this. Do you understand that? So that is what we are doing now. Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So let me continue that. So once we have extracted all the attributes, okay, let me just jump to the last attribute, which should be salary. I'm going to include the other ones. Data dot iLog, everything, 14. That should be the last one. Do you understand that? Then you can then process each of these attributes. For example, if you wish to plot work class, you can plot the work class attributes. So I expect you to do all this processing and plots, make plots in some cases, not just jumping into the algorithm. Do you understand that?
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to make plots for each of these attributes. You couldn't make plots with this series. We are going to make plots with matplotlib. Do you understand? You can make plots with matplotlib instead of, for example, this age. These are age attributes, but you can try to make it make plot age in some other ways. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, for example, let's import matplotlib dot pyplots as PLT. So I can then make plots of work class. These are work class. If it does unique, I want to get the unique value first. Okay. Do you know why we got an error for that? Let's look at this particular sign.
No.
Hello. Look at this particular sign, this unknown sign. It's used for missing, it's being represented with missing data. Do you understand that? It is being represented with missing data instead of none. So that is why we got error when we are trying to plot it the bar chart the other time. So it is better we then remove this. Do you understand that we can then just remove this from this data set? Do you understand that? The missing values is represented with this question mark.
Okay.
Do you understand that? The missing values is being represented with question mark. So I can say data.mp or data.replace here, even before in this particular line, I can say that data.replace. So I'm going to replace all the missing values, which is question mark, with none. MP plus none. Do you understand that? So that I can then use drop none to then remove all the none. So that is the way for you to remove all this none. But we still have this. I think there's a space before this question mark. So I'm going to put this space. Maybe we can remove that. It's not more there. So we have none. Do you see that we have none? So which means that drop none is going to remove all, it's going to take care of everything that is needed to remove. So there's no none there again. Do you understand the process? Then we can then make work class. So it's going to plot now. Plot bar. We should get the plot now. Okay. It's not working still. If we couldn't plot like this, we are going to plot using matplotlib. Do you understand that? We can plot using matplotlib by counting each of these values. Do you understand that? We can count each of these values. Is there anything like value underscore count in pandas?
Yes.
Is it count underscore values or values underscore count?
Value underscore count.
Values underscore count. Values or value. So this what our values underscore count will give us. Which means that we can count each of these values. We have private this. So with that, you can understand your data set very well. Do you understand that? You can understand your data set very well. But I expect you to do all this reprocessing, data analysis work to get each of these values, then make plots in some cases. Do you understand that? Then make plots in some cases. In this case, we can make plots. I can say that I can got this equal to this. Then let's see if we can make plots like this. Plot.bar. So now it works. You can see you can make pie charts instead. So it's not just you going into classification models most times. You have to use I'm trying to test is all your knowledge in this class using this particular problem. So I expect you to explain each of these attributes. Do you understand? By making plots of the attribute before even getting into classification machine learning. Do you understand that? For example, you can try to understand, look at what is the statistical distributions of the salary. That is the numbers of those that get higher than $50,000 per year and those that get lower than $50,000 per year. So this is going to give us that. So this is less than 50,000 per year, and this is greater than 50,000 per year. Do you understand that? So I expect you to do that for each of the attributes. You can create a plot here that's plotting, make like data analysis of each attribute in the data sets. Do you understand what I did?
Yes, yes.
Do you understand? Do you understand this? Justin, do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
for
following.
example, I can call on each categorical attribute like work class. I'm going to make 5 plots for work class. Make 5 plots for each of these attributes. Sex. For you to see the distributions of genders, you have male and females. So after doing a lot of analysis for each of these attributes, then you can then move into the machine learning algorithms, which means that you have to combine all these data sets together. Do you understand that? So, for example, we want to process this data set very well. You might try to change the attributes if you need to change them. Like you have data, you might try to convert them to integers instead. Why I told that some algorithms can work with this categorical classification model, categorical attributes. Why some cannot work with categorical attributes, but you can still proceed to change them. For example, I can try to change age, work class. Work class is categorical attributes. So I can change work class into numbers. So what I just need to change this into numbers to get the unique values. These are the unique values in this work class. So I can call this U equal to unique values. Then I can say, I can look toward these unique values for you in range 0 length of work class. No, length of U. Do you understand that? Then I'm going to replace it. PD dot replace. No, it should be work class dot replace I. Let me say for I in range. So I comma U. It should be U of I comma I. U of I comma I, which means that the first I will be 0. Do you understand that? And U of I, which is this, like U of 0 is this. U of 1 is this. So I want to replace U of 0 with 0, U of 1 with 1, U of 2 with 2, U of 3 with 3. Do you understand that? So once you do this, we go to this. So we then have this to be integers. Do you understand that? So this is going to give us integers. Do you understand how I replace? Because I don't want to start replacing that dot replace, start itemizing it. You can just do this instead. But if you think that itemizing is will make it easier for you, then you can itemize it like in this next one. I'm going to itemize it instead. Education. If you look at PD dot unique of education, you see something like this, then I can itemize each of these, copy this one, then replace it with education dot replace, comma. So you have to count it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you have to count it like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Do you understand this? Do you understand this? Hello?
Yes, yes.
You understand the difference between the both?
Yeah.
How about Gina? Do you understand that?
Yes, I'm following.
Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, sir, now that we have done it separate, if we want to take everything back into one table, how can we do that?
Very, very simple. For example, I've processed education and I've already processed education. For example, the reason why you are doing this is that you might just look into your data set like that maybe this particular attribute might be useless to my classification model. I'm not going to include it. Do you understand that you can exclude any attributes that is useless or that you just feel that is not going to work well? You get that? So that is the reason why you have to separate first and combine them together. For example, if you want to do that, I can combine together like this. I want to combine H. I'm going to turn this H to frame first. Yes. Okay. Is to frame. There's what we call to frame attributes for each series. So this has turned to frame. Then you have to join it. Dot join. Dot join. The first thing for you to turn your series to frame, which I did now, H will be the first attribute. Then you have to say dot join. So you have to now join it with the other attributes. The next attribute will be work class. I want to combine it with work class. Then I also want to dot join again. I want to join it with education. So if you want to join as much attributes, you just have to use the dot join
Okay.
keyword dot join. So this is going to combine everything together like this. So
Okay.
this has formed a single table. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So you can also see that dot join again, dot join. So you can also see that dot join salary. Do you understand that? So you can combine all the dot join together like this. Do you get that?
Yes.
Do you see that? So this is how to combine them together.
Okay.
So you have to explain this line. Thank you. You have to explain this line that joining attributes together.
I know, they come now.
So you have to explain this line, joining attributes together instead. So this is going to tell us that we have joined your attributes together. Then you cannot call this one data 2. And the next thing for you to now move to your classification algorithm. In this line, I can say splitting the data set into training and testing. Do you understand that?
Okay. Okay.
So let's go back.
This one doesn't have that prediction, but
Which prediction?
you know, there is one we do Y prediction, Y test. Doesn't have.
We haven't gotten there now. We haven't gotten there. I told you that instead of just jumping into that classification problem, the first thing you have to do is to process your data set, plot your graphs. Do you understand that? The first thing you have to do is to process your data set and plot your graph. That is what I asked. That is what I said. So that is what I explained earlier. And the next thing for you to know is how to make classification, jump to classification, machine learning.
Okay, okay.
Do you understand that?
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So then the next thing for us to do is to just divide our data set into training and testing. So I can import from sklearn dot, what's the keyword for splitting? Dot selection. Is it selection? Import train test. You guys should remember, you should remind me this code for training and testing.
We have x underscore.
No, I mean the keyword to import.
Okay.
Am I getting it? From sklearn.selection now.
I copied it.
Let me just copy from this example. Dot selection, okay, train
Oh, I was talking about it.
is model underscore selection.
Yeah, that more than the solution.
So then we can then split our data set into, for the first thing for us to do is to first try to define the input and the target class. So I can say that x is equal to data2 dot values. Do you understand that? Dot values.
Oh.
So these are 0 to -1. Y equal to data2 dot values just -1. So we can then split our data set into S-train, the training and testing sets, Y-train. Is it like this? Or S-train? Okay, S-train, S-tests, Y-train, and Y-tests. So equal to train underscore test underscore split. So we define X and Y. Test score, test ratio. Is this test ratio?
Size.
Test size. Okay, test size is equal to 0.2 or 0.25, which is 25% of the training of the data set. And I can define random states to be 0 or 1. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? So
Yeah.
then you can then define your machine learning algorithm you want to use. Maybe K nearest neighbor. I can start from sklearn dot okay, let me use decision tree algorithm. Decision tree classifier. So from sklearn.tree, import decision tree classifier. So I think this should be how to use it. Okay. So I just have to say CLF equal to decision tree dot fit X train and Y train. Classifier S train and Y train. You have to first define the model So I have to then predict dot predict s underscore test. So these are the predictions. Do you understand that? You can see that even though these ones are not in integers, I'm still able to use this particular algorithm to predict it. You can see that. So this will now be our y predict equal to this. Then we can then use classification performance metrics. So I want you to explain each lines also, each lines, like this particular line, explain it, this particular line, explain it. We want to use decision tree, so that using decision tree, what I was explaining earlier is that the first thing to do in this particular problem is you are a data scientist. I want you to implement your skills, to demonstrate your skills perfectly in this particular assignment, not just by this particular problems might be different from yours. You understand? Like in this ones, the man is being represented by question mark. In yours, it might be different. So what I'm expecting to do is just for you to explore your data set very well, not just copying the example or what I did and did it exactly as I did it. Do you understand that? Hello?
Yeah.
Do you understand that? So that is why I took you through the process, which include reading the data set, try to plot each attribute in your data set. Do you understand that? The first thing, extract each attribute in the data set. So you extract each attribute in the data set. So these are the attributes in the data set. You can see that. Look at the attributes in the data set. Then the next thing for you to now describe each of these attributes, data analysis on each attribute in the data set. Do you understand that? So you describe each attribute in the data set. Maybe some might need plotting, some might need you to just describe them. For example, this particular age, any continuous data might not just continuous data, I can just describe it with this keyword. I think describe as the keyword. Describe. So you have something like this. You just have to describe it. Count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, 25th percentile, and so on. Do you get that?
Okay.
So that is what I expect you to do. For each data set, explain your data set, each attribute in data set before moving to classification model. Is that clear? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want you to go back to your assignment and explain better, because I couldn't see this. I couldn't even understand your data, your assignments. So I can understand as a Python professional, but I want to understand even as a layman, just first to just read through, put me through your data set, explain each attributes, then move to classification models, explain each steps that was carried out. Do you understand that? Is that clear?
Okay. Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Will you be able to complete that before tomorrow class?
I will try.
Ojina, do you now understand what we are trying to do now?
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Do you now understand this part of the assignment better?
Yes, I understand it to this extent now that we reached.
Okay, so the process is going to choose a data set, explain your data set very well, read it, look into it, the missing value, the representation of the missing values, then try to remove the missing values, then plot don't just copy and paste what I gone through in this class. I want you to understand it perfectly, because a particular data set might come in different ways. So your own, you have to demonstrate your expertise by using any techniques you know as data scientist to analyze it and extract the target class and the input class for it to make classification.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's that about that. I will be waiting for your updates on the assignments. So go back to the assignment and make updates before I make the
Okay.
final review.
Okay.
Because by tomorrow we are going to go through unsupervised machine learning algorithm, which will be the last thing we'll be dealing with. Do you understand
Okay.
that?
Okay.
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 So
Thank
I'll be
you.
expecting your assignments, the update on the assignments. Do you understand that?
This video, can it be available maybe this evening?
Yeah, I'll make it available after this class.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes. So I have one question.
Okay.
Yeah. In that formula, the splitting formula, the X train, X test, the random state. What is the meaning of that? I didn't get it last time.
Once you are dealing with data set like this, there's also shuffle, which can be also true of course. Shuffle means that we are just, for you to extract the testing set and the training set, you are going to extract it randomly. Do you understand? You extract it randomly. So random state means it's a pseudo random number generator in which if you generate the same random number, if I'm using the same random state, now I'm using random state to be 1. If you're also using random state to be 1, I'm going to generate the same random number. Do you understand that?
Okay.
It means that we are going to generate the same testing set and training set, even though it is being random, because we have seed it. It's a pseudo random number generator. Do you understand that?
Okay.
So that means that shuffle, that is true there. It doesn't work.
No. Shuffle is true. Shuffle is always true. The default should be true, except you want it to be false. So false means that you are not shuffling your data. You just want to pick training set, which should be the first 80% of the data set without shuffling it. Do you understand that? Just maybe,
Okay.
for example, you have 1,000 observations. Your 80%, in this case, you are picking 75% of as training set. It means that 750, the first 750 will be the training set, and the last 250 will be our testing set. Do you understand that? So that is
Yeah.
that is shuffle force. But if shuffle is true, you just pick them randomly. You can pick anyone randomly, just although you still have the same size of data set, but you pick them randomly, not taking the first one and the last one. Do you understand that?
Okay.
So that is the difference. But using pseudo random number generator means that we are generating the same random number, even though it's true, even though you are shuffling it. Most cases, it's always good to seal your project. If you are working with random numbers, it's better you sealed it, because if you are working, you get a particular answer, maybe precision to be 80%, 80.25, and you have not sealed your data set. If I run the same code, I'm going to get different random number because I'm getting different testing sets, which might give us different values. So that is why it is always good to seed it. Whether seed is equal to 1 or seed is equal to 2, it does not matter. Just know that if you are using seed to be 1, you are getting the random number for every other person using seed to be 1. For that same problem. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Yeah. Because last time when I tried this one with the same data that you used last time, I got different value. But they're like the
different value because you have not sealed your data set into a particular form.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So, and then another example is this particular problem. You can see that I see this one to be 0. So let's say that I'm not generating random number like .rand. Okay. this is going to give me a random number between 0 and 1, if you can still remember. So if I run
Yeah.
this, I'm going to get this random number no matter times I run it. But if I'm using different seed can be any number, let's say 56. So I'm going to get different random number, but the same random number anytime I run it. But if I've not seed it at all, I'm going to be getting different random number anytime I run it. So seeding a random number is pseudo random number generator, means that you are getting random number, fine, but it's a false random number. It's not a true random number because you are going to get the same random number. So that's why we call it pseudo random number generation.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Hmm.
So it's the same thing as this random state.
Okay.
So that is that about that. So I'll expect the updates on your assignments so we can move into unsupervised machine learning.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay then.
All right. Thank you.
Do you have any other question?
None for now.
Okay then. Good night.
Yes. Thank you. Both.
Yeah.